The alien fleet emerged from the void, their sleek, obsidian ships cutting through the darkness of space like blades. Commander Zorth stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Void Spire, his multifaceted eyes scanning the holographic display of the Sol system. Earth glowed faintly in the distance, a blue-green jewel surrounded by the faint glimmer of human satellites and stations. Zorth's mandibles twitched in amusement. This was supposed to be a routine conquest, another primitive species to add to the Empire's dominion. His advisors had assured him that humanity was fractured, divided, and technologically inferior. Yet, as the fleet approached, something felt off. The Void Spire sensors swept the system, picking up the faint signatures of human vessels. Most were small, unremarkable, but one signal stood out, a massive construct orbiting Earth, bristling with energy readings that defied explanation. Zorth's second-in-command, Vrax, hissed in confusion. "Commander, the readings, they don't make sense. That ship, it's unlike anything we've encountered before." Zorth dismissed the concern with a wave of his clawed hand. Humanity is a young species. They may have cobbled together some primitive defenses, but they are no match for us. Hail them. The transmission was sent, a demand for surrender laced with the arrogance of a species that had never known defeat. The response came not from Earth, but from a massive ship itself. The screen flickered to life, revealing a human officer, her expression calm but resolute. "This is Captain Elena Reyes of the EAS Prometheus. You are in sovereign human space. State your intentions." Zorth's mandibles twitched again, this time in irritation. "I am Commander Zorth of the Galactic Dominion. You will surrender your world to us, or face annihilation." Reyes didn't flinch. "We don't surrender." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving Zorth seething. He turned to Vrax. "Deploy a probe. Let's see what this Prometheus is made of." The probe shot forward, a sleek, dart-like craft designed to test enemy defenses. It streaked toward the Prometheus, its sensors scanning for weaknesses. But before it could even get within range, the human ship reacted. A beam of pure energy lanced out, striking the probe and reducing it to molten slag. Zorth's eyes widened. Impossible. That weapon, it shouldn't exist. Vrax's voice was tinged with unease. "Commander, their technology, it's beyond anything we've seen." The Prometheus moved then, positioning itself between the alien fleet and Earth. Its sheer size was intimidating, but it was the aura of confidence that unsettled Zorth the most. Humanity wasn't cowering. They were standing their ground. Reyes' voice echoed through the Void Spire's comm system. "This is your only warning. Leave our system or face the consequences." Zorth clenched his claws. "They're bluffing. No species this young could possibly challenge us." But deep down, doubt began to creep in. The Prometheus was no bluff. It was a statement, a declaration that humanity would not be conquered. As the alien fleet hesitated, the Prometheus activated its full array of defenses. Energy shields shimmered into existence, and its weapon systems came online, each one a marvel of engineering that defied the aliens' understanding. Zorth's mind raced. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humanity was supposed to be weak, divided, easy prey. But the Prometheus was a symbol of their unity, their ingenuity, and their refusal to bow to anyone. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the course of history. The tension was palpable as the two forces faced each other, the silence of space amplifying the gravity of the moment. Zorth knew he couldn't back down, not without losing face. But the Prometheus loomed large in his mind, a reminder that humanity was not to be underestimated. He gave the order to prepare for battle, even as a part of him wondered if he was making a mistake. The aliens had come expecting an easy victory, but what they found was a species ready to fight for its survival, and a battleship that would shock them to their core. The Prometheus hung in the void, a silent sentinel between Earth and the alien armada. Inside its command center, Captain Elena Reyes monitored the alien fleet's movements with a calm intensity. Her crew worked with precision, their training evident in every action. The ship's advanced systems hummed with power, a testament to humanity's ingenuity. But the story of how they had reached this point was one few outside the highest echelons of the United Earth Defense Force knew. Decades earlier, humanity had stumbled upon a derelict alien vessel in the Kuiper Belt. It was a relic of a long-dead civilization, its technology far beyond anything humans had ever imagined. Scientists and engineers from across the globe had worked tirelessly to unlock its secrets, but humanity hadn't simply copied what they found. They had adapted it, improved it, and made it their own. The Prometheus was a culmination of that effort, a ship that combined alien technology with human creativity. Its gravity-based disruptor, for example, was a human innovation, something the original creators of the derelict vessel had never conceived. As the alien fleet regrouped, Zortha's mind raced. The Prometheus had defied all expectations, and he couldn't afford to underestimate humanity again. He summoned his advisors, their insectoid faces reflecting the same unease he felt. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Their technology, it shouldn't exist." Vrax, his second-in-command, hesitated before responding. "Our scans suggest they've reverse-engineered advanced systems. But there's more. They've modified them, improved them in ways we can't fully understand." Zortha's mandibles clicked in frustration. They're a young species. How could they achieve so much in so little time? The answer lay in humanity's unique approach to problem-solving. Where the aliens relied on rigid hierarchies and established doctrines, humans thrived on collaboration and innovation. The Prometheus was a product of that mindset, a ship designed not just to match alien technology, but to surpass it. Its crew, too, reflected the spirit. They weren't just soldiers. They were scientists, engineers, and thinkers united by a common purpose. Reyes knew this, and it gave her confidence as she faced the alien fleet. Zorth, however, was torn. His pride demanded that he crush humanity and prove the Dominion's superiority, but his instincts warned him of the risks. The Prometheus was a formidable opponent, and he couldn't afford to make a mistake. He ordered his fleet to hold position, buying time to assess the situation. But not all of his commanders shared his caution. One of his subordinates, a hot-headed warrior named Krau, saw the hesitation as weakness. "We outnumber them 100 to 1, Krau growled. "Why are we waiting? Let me take my squadron and destroy that ship." Before Zor could respond, Krau's ships broke formation, streaking toward the Prometheus. Rhea saw the movement on her display and immediately understood the intent. "Prepare for engagement," she ordered, her voice steady. The Prometheus' S-weapon systems came online, targeting the incoming vessels. Krau's squadron opened fire, their energy beams lancing toward the human ship. But the Prometheus' S-shields absorbed the impact effortlessly, its systems compensating for the attack with ease. Reyes didn't wait for a second strike. "Fire the disruptor," she commanded. A pulse of gravitational energy erupted from the Prometheus, enveloping Krau's ships. Their propulsion systems faltered, leaving them drifting helplessly in space. The human ship's railguns followed up, precise strikes disabling the alien vessels without destroying them. It was a calculated move, a demonstration of both power and restraint. Reyes wanted to send a message, not escalate the conflict unnecessarily. Zorth watched in stunned silence as Krau's squadron was neutralized. The Prometheus had barely broken a sweat, its capabilities far beyond anything he had anticipated. Vrax turned to him, his voice low. "Commander, we must reconsider our approach. This species, they are not what we expected." Zorth nodded reluctantly. "Prepare transmission. We need to buy time." But even as he spoke, he knew the situation had changed. Humanity wasn't just defending itself. It was asserting its place in the galaxy. The Prometheus stood as a symbol of that assertion, a testament to what humanity could achieve when united. Reyes knew the aliens were watching, their confidence shaken. She also knew this was only the beginning. The aliens had come expecting an easy conquest, but they had found something far more dangerous, a species that refused to back down, a species that had turned the tables on them. The Prometheus was more than a ship. It was a declaration. Humanity would not be conquered. Humanity would not be ignored. And if the aliens wanted to fight, they would get one. The alien fleet surged forward, their ships forming a deadly crescent as they closed in on the Prometheus. Zortha's orders were clear: overwhelm the human vessel with sheer numbers and firepower. The Void Spire led the charge, its weapons glowing with pent-up energy. Zortha's mandibles twitched in anticipation. He had underestimated humanity once. He wouldn't make the same mistake again. But as the distance between the two forces dwindled, the Prometheus remained eerily calm, its shield shimmering like a second skin. Rhea stood at the center of the command deck, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. The alien fleet was formidable, but she had faith in her ship and her crew. "Activate the gravity disruptor," she ordered. The Prometheus' S systems hummed as the weapon charged, a low thrum that resonated through the ship. When the disruptor fired, it sent a ripple through space itself, a wave of gravitational force that struck the leading edge of the alien fleet. Ships veered off course, their propulsion systems sputtering as the disruptor's effects took hold. The aliens' formation broke, their advance faltering. But Zorth wasn't deterred. "Focus fire on that ship," he barked. The Void Spire and its escorts unleashed a barrage of energy beams, their combined firepower lighting up the void. The Prometheus' S shields flared under the assault, but they held, the ship's advanced systems redistributing the energy to prevent overload. Reyes watched the readings closely, her mind racing. "Return fire," she commanded. The Prometheus' S railguns roared to life, launching hypervelocity projectiles at the alien ships. Each shot struck with pinpoint accuracy, tearing through hulls and disabling critical systems. The battle intensified as the alien fleet regrouped, their tactics shifting. Smaller, faster ships broke away from the main force, attempting to flank the Prometheus. Reyes anticipated the move. "Deploy fighters," she ordered. Human fighter squadrons launched from the Prometheus, their sleek, cloaked vessels darting through the chaos. The aliens had no warning until it was too late. The human fighters struck with surgical precision, their weapons targeting engines and weapons arrays. The alien flank crumbled under the onslaught, their ships drifting helplessly. Zorth clenched his claws in frustration. "How are they doing this?" he demanded. Vrax, monitoring the battle from his station, shook his head. "Their tactics, they're unpredictable. They adapt too quickly." Zorth growled, his pride warring with his growing respect for humanity. "Then we hit them harder. Concentrate all firepower on their shields. We will break them." The Void Spire and its remaining escorts unleashed a coordinated assault, their weapons pounding Prometheus' defenses. The human ship's shields flickered under the strain, but they didn't fail. Reyes knew they couldn't hold out forever. "Prepare the Singularity Cannon," she ordered. The weapon was a last resort, a devastating tool that could turn the tide of the battle. But it came with risks. The Prometheus' S systems groaned as the cannon charged, drawing power from every available source. The aliens, sensing the shift, redoubled their efforts. "They're preparing something," Vrax warned. Zortha's eyes narrowed. "Target that weapon. Destroy it before they can fire." The Void Spire S weapons locked onto Prometheus' S Singularity Cannon, but before they could fire, the human ship struck. The cannon unleashed a concentrated burst of gravitational energy, creating a micro-singularity that tore through the alien fleet. Ships were pulled into the vortex, their hulls crumpling like paper. The Void Spire itself was caught on the edge of the effect, its system straining to break free. Zorth gripped the edges of his command chair, his mind reeling. "Fall back," he ordered, his voice tinged with desperation. The alien fleet disengaged, their ships retreating from Prometheus' devastating weapon. Reyes allowed herself a moment of relief, but she knew the battle wasn't over. "Track their movements," she ordered. "Don't let them regroup." The Prometheus' sensors followed the retreating aliens, its weapons still primed. The human fighters returned to the ship, their mission accomplished. The crew worked tirelessly to repair the damage, their determination unwavering. Zorth, meanwhile, was forced to confront the reality of his situation. The Prometheus had not only withstood his fleet's assault, but had turned the tide of the battle. His pride was shattered, but his respect for humanity had grown. "They are not what we expected," he admitted to Vrax. "But we cannot afford to lose. Prepare the reserves. We will strike again, and this time we will not underestimate them." The Prometheus stood as a beacon of humanity's resilience, its crew ready for whatever came next. The battle had proven that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, a species that could defy the odds and emerge victorious. But the war was far from over, and both sides knew it. The Prometheus had shocked the aliens, but the true test was yet to come. The alien fleet's retreat was not a sign of surrender, but a regrouping, a recalibration of their strategy. Zorith, battered but not broken, convened with his remaining commanders aboard the Void Spire. The once proud flagship bore the scars of the battle, its hull pockmarked and its systems strained. Zoritha's mandibles twitched as he addressed his advisors. "We underestimated them," he admitted, his voice low. "But we will not make the same mistake again. Prepare the reserves. We will strike with everything we have." On the Prometheus, Reyes monitored the alien fleet's movements. The ship's sensors detected a surge of activity among the retreating vessels, a clear indication that the aliens were preparing for another assault. "They're not done," she murmured, her eyes narrowing. "Prepare for round two." The crew, though weary, responded with unwavering determination. The Prometheus had proven its worth, but the battle had taken its toll. Shields were at 60%, and several systems were operating on backup power. Reyes knew they couldn't sustain another prolonged engagement. They needed to end this, and quickly. The alien fleet returned, their numbers bolstered by reserves from their home system. Zoritha's strategy was clear: overwhelm the Prometheus with sheer force. The Void Spire led the charge once more, its weapons glowing with renewed intensity. "This ends now," Zorith declared. "All ships, focus fire on the human vessel. Destroy at all costs." The alien fleet unleashed a coordinated barrage, their energy beams converging on the Prometheus. The human ship's shields flared under the assault, their integrity dropping rapidly. "Reyes, clench your fists. Divert all power to shields," she ordered. "We need to hold them off long enough to deploy the Singularity cannon again." The crew worked frantically, rerouting power from non-essential systems to reinforce the shields. The Prometheus shuddered under the relentless bombardment, but it held. Reyes turned to her weapons officer. "Status on the cannon?" The officer shook his head. "It's still charging. We need more time." Time was a luxury they didn't have. The alien fleet pressed their advantage, their attacks growing more ferocious. Zoritha's confidence returned as he watched Prometheus struggle. "They're weakening," he said, a hint of triumph in his voice. "Finish them." But just as the alien prepared to deliver the final blow, the Prometheus S Singularity cannon fired. The micro-singularity tore through the alien fleet, its gravitational pull dragging ships into its deadly embrace. The Void Spire itself was caught on the edge of the effect, its systems failing as it struggled to break free. Zoritha's triumph turned to desperation. "Evasive maneuvers!" he shouted, but it was too late. The Void Spire S-engine sputtered and died, leaving the flagship adrift. The rest of the alien fleet, now leaderless, began to falter. Reyes seized the opportunity. "All fighters, engage at will. Target their command ships." The human fighters, cloaked and deadly, swept through the disorganized alien fleet, their precision strikes crippling the remaining vessels. As the battle turned decisively in humanity's favor, Zorith was forced to confront the inevitable. His fleet was in shambles, his flagship crippled. He turned to Vrax, his voice heavy with resignation. "Open a channel to the Prometheus. It's time to end this." The transmission was sent, and Reyes appeared on the Void Spire screen. "This is Commander Zorith of the Galactic Dominion," he began, his tone subdued. "We surrender." Reyes nodded, her expression unreadable. "Your surrender is accepted. Stand down your remaining forces and prepare to be boarded." The alien fleet complied, their ships powering down as the Prometheus moved to secure the area. Zorith, now a prisoner of war, was brought aboard the human ship. He was met with a mix of curiosity and caution, the crew wary but respectful. Reyes approached him, her demeanor calm but firm. "You came here expecting an easy victory," she said, "but you underestimated us. Humanity doesn't back down. We fight for our survival, and we fight for our future." Zoritha's mandibles twitched, but he said nothing. The weight of his defeat was heavy, but so too was his newfound respect for humanity. The Prometheus had not only defended Earth, but had proven that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. As the ship set course for Earth, its crew celebrated their hard-fought victory. But Reyes knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and humanity's place in it was now secure. The Prometheus had shocked the aliens, but it also inspired hope. A hope that humanity could face any challenge and emerge stronger. The story of the Prometheus and its crew will be told for generations, a testament to humanity's resilience and ingenuity. The aliens had come as conquerors, but they left as equals. Their perception of humanity forever changed. The Prometheus had not only defended Earth, but had ushered in a new era, one where humanity stood tall among the stars.